The Rowan football team looks to finish the season strong with 4 games remaining, all against NJAC opponents. Women's soccer is almost done in conference play with only 3 matches left for the regular season.
Both cost-crunchy teams ran this weekend, and the regular season is over as they look towards their NJAC championship. Field hockey looks well awaited in the end of their season as well. Profs Huddle starts right now.
Welcome to Profs Huddle. I'm Matt Saglin-Benny.
And I'm Grace Shakaitis.
The football team has an overall 2-4 record with a 1-1 record in NJAC conference. The Profs will look to build on both their overall record and their conference record with all 4 of their remaining games against in-conference opponents. This past Saturday, the Profs took on Christopher Newport in a rainy Saturday game. Rowan managed to make a comeback in the 4th, but it was too little too late for the Profs. The Christopher Newport Captains took on the 2-3 Rowan Profs on a cold, rainy homecoming day in Glassboro, New Jersey, as the Profs try to win 2 straight for the first time all year. It didn't start well for the Profs as on the opening kickoff, the sophomore number 4 Trey Hayes breaks a few tackles and takes it to the house for a 95-yard kickoff return touchdown for his first touchdown of the year, as Christopher Newport takes an early 1-score lead to quickly go out ahead and spoil the Profs' homecoming hype. With 2 minutes left in the first quarter, the Profs answered back with a 30-yard field goal by Connor Batten to cut the lead and get the Profs on the board. And at the very end of the first quarter, Gunnar White breaks through and blows past Rowan defenders for a 49-yard rushing touchdown, which is his 6th touchdown of the year, to give the Captains a 14-3 lead. A few drives later, the senior quarterback Matt Dezierski gets a few good blocks and drives his way into the end zone to take a 21-3 Captains lead with a little under 10 minutes to go. But right before the half ends, the freshman Nunez Bakula IV bulldozes into the end zone for his 4th touchdown of the year to cut the lead to 21-10. The first touchdown of the day for the Profs, and they are hyped. There would be no more scoring in the game until 2 minutes 21 seconds left in the 4th, when Kevin Degnan is headed into the end zone for a 95-yard touchdown reception to then make it a 1-score game right before the 2-minute mark. It would be too little too late for the Rowan Profs as Christopher Newport Captains defeat the Profs 21-18. The Captains improve to 4-2 in the year, as Rowan will drop to 2-4 and be home against Salisbury on Saturday for a heated NJAC showdown.
Now talking about the other type of football, the women's soccer team, who are now 10-0-2, had 2 matchups against Rutgers Camden and Ramapo. While also celebrating a win, they celebrated their senior day. Last Wednesday, the women's soccer team continued their dominance in the regular season with a really physical NJAC matchup against the Rutgers Camden Scarlet Raptors. The Profs haven't lost this year yet, when they have a record of 8-0-2 coming into this one. On the year, they have a total of 36 goals compared to their opponents' 4. They haven't let up more than 1 goal since September 13th, and they continue this momentum in this feisty battle. The Scarlet Raptors goalie, Kayla McKeever, got peppered with 24 shots, 11 of them being on goal, and recorded 7 saves. Mackenzie Clement fired through goals number 9 and 10 on the season. Leona Sanfleece assists Clement on her first goal and put one in the back of the net herself. The Giordano twins had 6 shots, with them half of them resulting in shot on goal, but none of them fell through. The Profs still took care of business once again and are still undefeated as they shut out Rutgers Camden 3-0 for their 9th win on the season. 2 days later, the women's soccer team played one of their favorite opponents, the Ramapo Roadrunners, on senior night. The Profs have never lost a game to Ramapo, and Friday was no different. They came out guns a-blazing with 4 goals in the first half and tacked on 3 more in the back half, winning 7-0. It may have been senior night, but the spotlight was taken away by sophomores and juniors. It started off with sophomore forward Olivia Giordano, who off the jump had a strong start with the goal within the 3rd minute. 4 minutes later, junior Mackenzie Clement continued her hot streak with another goal, and then Olivia Giordano put one more through moments later to keep things rolling. Clement in the second half punched in 2 more goals to record her first hat trick in a Profs uniform. The other 2 Profs able to score were junior midfielder Gabby Dean and junior back Maine and Beta. What's great about this Profs team is that they all work together. 6 of their 7 goals were all assisted by another teammate. Defender Emma DeMays won her NJAC Defense Player of the Week for her efforts in both shutouts this past week. The job's not finished for the Profs as their next game takes place tonight at TCNJ for one of their biggest games of the season. The Lions top the NJAC standings with a 11-1-1 record, and this could be an easy matchup we see in the future between these two teams as they are favored to reach the NJAC tournament. Kickoff tonight will be at 7 o'clock.
Now let's get away from the borough and take a look at how some of our Profs ran away, or at least tried to run away, from the bad weather over the weekend. Both cross-country teams were busy on Saturday afternoon as they headed to Dream Park in Logan Township to compete in the 8th annual border battle. The day began with the women's 6K race with runners running through rainy, muddy conditions. Rowan had 6 top 25 finishers, including freshman Emily Zanni, who ended up finishing in first place, beating out over 80 other competitors with an official time of 24 minutes and 18 seconds. The Profs team as a whole also finished first, beating out Portland by 13 points, finishing with 28. The team honored former coach Derek Ringo Adamson after the race, as the longtime head coach retired last week. Next up was the men's 8K open race, which they placed second in last year. This time around, Rowan finished with 3 runners inside the top 10, with 4 more placing inside the top 20, earning them first place out of over 20 schools who were a part of the race. Junior Tyler Green finished 5th, officially clocking in at 26 minutes and just a hair under 3 seconds. In the 2 championship races, the men's team captured first place as well, while the women's team finished in 3rd. Overall, it was a monster day for the Profs at Dream Park, with the women's team making Coach Ringo proud by dominating at what he ironically described as the dream race, while the men's team made up for a bit of a disappointing result last year by taking first in both competitions. Both teams will now gear up ahead for the NJAC Championships next Saturday, the 29th, up in Ewing, New Jersey, on the College of New Jersey's campus.
Now let's turn our attention to field hockey as the 23rd ranked Rowan Profs take on the 13th ranked Kane University in a match of NJAC division rivals. Rowan jumped out to an early lead as Vanessa DiDonato got the Profs on the board with some fancy dribbling around the Kane defenders and a shot from 5 yards out to make it 1-0 in the first quarter. It would only take a few minutes to strike again as Julia Cavicchio blasted a shot just from inside the circle off the corner to increase Rowan's lead by 2. Kane tried to answer back and had some great chances in the first half, but stellar performance by Mariah Giuliano in goal would keep Kane off the board. This was Giuliana's first start of her career for the Profs, and she'd make the most of it by posting 16 saves. The Profs weren't done scoring, though, as Grace Fenton tallies her first of the year as she puts a deflected shot by Giuliana Cavicchio, increasing the Profs' lead to 3-0. But Kane wouldn't back down quietly as it answered back with a blast from Laura Stump at the top of the circle, making it a 3-1. And with under 3 minutes left to play, Kane would strike again as Carolina Pease puts a pass from 5 yards out, but the Profs would hold this out to go on to win the game by a score of 3-2. The Rowan field hockey teams improves their overall record to 7-6 and their NJAC record to 2-1 as the team looks towards their next NJAC tournament next month.
That'll do it for this edition of Profs Huddle. Look forward to an action-packed weekend ahead with our football team taking on Salisbury at home on Saturday at 1 o'clock, followed by our field hockey team taking on Montclair State at 6 o'clock at Coach Richard Wacker Stadium.
Our girls soccer team plays Saturday at 5 o'clock at the Rowan Soccer Complex. Best of luck to all our teams this weekend, and until next time, go Profs!